Afternoon. Presentation's up. Okay, we're going to quickly go through how to build a banking brand on LinkedIn and engage your B2B SME consumers. Got some great examples and some really bad examples. And we haven't held any punches at all in terms of, we've got like Singaporean examples, Australian examples, and American examples. Basically, everyone knows LinkedIn, very, very powerful in Asia, very, very powerful obviously across the world, but in Asia, it's going through the roof. 50 million people, up from 18 million people just a couple of years ago. So undoubtedly the place to be if you're targeting SMEs. SMEs are very much growing on LinkedIn. As you can see there, founders, directors, CEOs, you want to get to decision makers, very much the place to go, the platform to go is LinkedIn. 37% of LinkedIn of SMEs are actually on LinkedIn, and they use LinkedIn as media to target people, various different people, kind of business to business. SMEs have increased on LinkedIn by 50%. It is the platform they're realizing they can really generate business on. 41% of SMEs say that LinkedIn is invaluable in the growth of their business. Absolutely fantastic. By far and away, the #1 social media brand. Compare that with Facebook, only 14%. And everyone raves about Twitter, 3%. You're wasting your money if you're going on Twitter and hoping to have B2B examples and B2B marketing. So what drives users to the websites? There are lots of examples out there, just pick one, where one guy really transformed the amount of people going to his website by using LinkedIn. He compared it to Twitter, he tried both of them, and he said LinkedIn worked 10 times better than Twitter. So what about banks directly? Picked out some really, really good case studies. Morgan Stanley in America use it particularly well. One financial advisor, and I'm sure this is an exception, but it does kind of show how the potential is, generated over 70 million in tangible assets through networking purely on LinkedIn. Another person kind of used the SEO of LinkedIn, which is very underrated, very underused, to actually make sure that they have things like independent and woman and financial advisor when targeting female professionals on LinkedIn to increase their SEO. Other Morgan Stanley advisors, for example, use it very much to turn cold leads into warm leads. There are no cold leads when you have LinkedIn. People can check you out, you can check them out. They're not cold anymore, they're warm. Morgan Stanley do a very good job, as you can see here. They have a lot of followers, they have a lot of engagement, they use the content well. They don't have that much in terms of showcase pages, but not many people do, because it's relatively new on LinkedIn, but more and more brands, especially future-thinking ones, are actually getting showcase pages on LinkedIn as well. What's very good is that they don't just use it to push promotion, products, and services, or that's what consumers want. They actually use it to push causes as well. As you can see here, they're using it to push their kind of environmental sustainability, but it's not always appreciated by people. So you do have to take into a point of view that some people on LinkedIn are quite cynical about some of these causes, although why the guy next to him has put his phone number there is beyond me. Morgan Stanley do a very good job in also separating out their brands and their products on LinkedIn, do separate pages. But that's what the showcase pages on LinkedIn are actually for. So you can actually have one parent company brand and several showcase pages for all your different brands and products and services and different segmented companies. Not many people do it as well as people like Morgan Stanley and Citibank as well. So they separated out a lot, but as you can see, even Morgan Stanley can do better. This particular section, although they've got 20,000 followers, they've got no content. They've got 20,000 people there who are desperate for content, and nobody's giving them any content. 20,000 people. Citibank are a particularly good example. They really, really looked at the whole of LinkedIn and said, how can we engage people? They've had a Connect Female kind of like program for the last 10 years offline. They moved it online about a year ago. They've already got 300,000 members. Very, very engaged group. I tried to join. Obviously, I was rejected. But it's a very, very good group. Not everyone there is on a Citibank customer. But it's a great advocacy program. It's great for content sharing. And you can bet they're much more warm in terms of leads and a very, very engaged platform than other similar programs. Citibank in general do a fantastic job in sharing content, although they again still do not have any showcase pages. but they do have about 600,000 followers on LinkedIn. They use it quite a bit in terms of, ironically, are you spending too much time on social media on LinkedIn? They do have one of the influencers. There are only 200 influencers in the world on LinkedIn. It's a very vicious fight in terms of who becomes an influencer. You've got Obama, you've got people like Richard Branson, and you also have the director of global social media at Citibank. So he's done a phenomenal job. And as you can see, he doesn't just post things about Citibank. He posts things generally about social media. You know, that's the trick to actually do on social media, is not just promote your company time and time and time again. Promote things that are just not your company. There's a rule that LinkedIn have, which is the 4-1-1 rule, which basically says you can do 1 hard sell post, 1 soft sell post, and 4 non-related posts to get engagement. And they say that is the key to success on LinkedIn in terms of engagement. So don't just promote your own products out there. American Express do a fantastic job. They have an SME program. It only has 20,000 followers, which is quite low when you consider how many SMEs there are in America, let alone the rest of the world. Unfortunately, they forgot to buy the advertising on their own page. As you can see here, HSBC have bought the advertising on the Amex Open page. They kind of missed the trick there. Well done, HSBC. They did manage to buy the Amex page on their own page, so they just forgot the SME Open Forum page. According to research from LinkedIn, 70% of financial advisors use social media. Anyone who lives in Singapore can vouch for that. You also get a lot of people leveraging LinkedIn. 60% of financial advisors use it for business development, and 32% say they're generating more than $1 million directly from LinkedIn. 87% of mass affluent customers in the same way use LinkedIn, and 63% say they take action as a result of the trusted content they read and they find about on LinkedIn. When asked if they want to connect with their advisor over social media, 52% of high net worth individuals said they would. Guess how many actually are connected to their social media advisors on LinkedIn? 4%, which is an amazing opportunity to connect. You know, I'm speaking in Singapore, I'm not connected to any of my financial advisors, whether it's a business bank or whether it's my social bank, my personal bank. There's a great opportunity there on LinkedIn. What customers want from financial institutions is not rocket science. It is things like improved customer service, timely updates, and relevant content. For brokerage, it's new products, what's coming out, what are they doing, what are the market commentaries, what's the performance indicators. And in terms of banks and credit cards, same thing. What's the new products? What's the account change information? What's the company information? What's changing? What do I need to know? As an SME holder, as a CEO, what do I need to know? Goldman Sachs do a particularly good job in terms of sharing content. They really kind of go to town, and they get lots of engagement from their customers, from their employees. And half of LinkedIn should be about engaging your employees. Merrill Lynch also do a particularly good job, although their attempt to kind of do something worthy to talk about protecting water seems to have gone down particularly badly with this guy who believes that all the water comes from the meteorites. So he may be well be right, but it's kind of interesting, the debate. I noticed that Merrill Lynch didn't bother saying that's not true or that is true. Deutsche Bank do a particularly good job. All these people have about 250,000, 300,000 followers, and they've got, as you can see there, about 45,000 employees engaging on LinkedIn. They were trying to push the kind of gay and lesbian angle in Ireland, and wasn't very popular. But at least they're trying different things. HSBC know where their bread is buttered. It's in China. You know, they're very much talking about learning Mandarin. They're particularly good at putting content, but not very good at frequency. If you're waiting 10 days to post content when you've got 500,000 followers, what the hell are you doing for the other 10 days? Because Citibank are out there doing it every single day. Now, they have those separated out their different brands. They've got commercial banking as a different agent, and they're also putting content on the different brands as well. As you can see here, they're also celebrating the new HSBC Lego with a picture about Lego. So they're doing different business models. They're not just saying products and financial services, they're saying how you build brands. They're using brands like Lego to actually communicate this. They've also separated out, although HSBC's global banking here haven't put any content on, as you can see, and it's quite sparse. And again, they've got 12,000 new followers there, and they're not really using it apart from to push jobs. The private banking, the same thing. There's no content on there. Really got to put content on there. There's 25,000 people on that one. There's no content. There's nobody. They've said, I want information. Why aren't you giving them information? It's cheap, it's easy, it's free. So, some Singaporean examples for all the banks from Singapore here. Ooh, gone too far. DBS. I don't like the DBS LinkedIn page at all. For anybody from DBS here, it's got basically nothing about the products and services in. It's got lots about community. There's all about the kind of CEO went to this hawker center and the CEO went to that hawker center and he gave to this charity and that charity. But if you're a DBS customer, you get no products and service information at all. There's not an SME page. There's lots of SMEs in Singapore. 90% of the people employed in Singapore are SMEs. But there's no information from SMEs in Singapore from DBS. You know, there's an opportunity there. They've only got 30,000 followers, and I think they've only got 30,000 followers because basically people are looking at it going, there's no information there. Because if you look at the number of employees, there's 7,000 those of employees. DBS employ 20,000 people. What are the other 14,000 doing? They did, though, promote their Dragon Tap. Absolutely fantastic. So if you happen to be in Marina Bay and you happen to like yachting, you basically can download this. What it means to people in the Singapore heartlands is beyond me. What it means to people in Malaysia or Hong Kong is even more bizarre. Now, OCBC, very, very poor. I mean, there's literally no content here whatsoever. But they do like to push their jobs. And jobs and banking sites for LinkedIn is a common theme, as you will see. Doesn't matter about anything else, jobs. Anybody realizes this because any Singaporean or any person working in a bank will change jobs at the drop of a hat, or if you're given a VP title over here or a VP title over there. As you can see, CIMB, you know, relatively big bank, 18,000 followers, very much pushing their jobs. Very descriptive. Just more jobs, and more jobs, and more jobs, and more jobs. What they are is absolutely beyond me. Can anyone tell me what any of these jobs are? See more jobs. I particularly like the fact that 3 of these posts happened on the same day. See more jobs, see more jobs, see more jobs. What are they? Marketing director, sales assistant? What are they? God knows. How are CIMB going to get any engagement there whatsoever with those kind of posts? Completely wasted opportunity. Maybank, at least they've gone a step further. They've said, we're so desperate for people to join us, you can walk into our store and we'll give you an interview. They maybe should have teamed up with CIMB to actually go together. This explains probably why the Maybank Asset Management page only has 279 followers. Not particularly interested at all. One bank that does it particularly well, Standard Chartered. 300,000 followers. They're probably the #1 bank in Singapore by a long, long way in terms of content engagement, in terms of posting. They do, though, have somebody desperate to join a bank. So desperate, in fact, he's put his telephone number in 2 days running. This guy should really talk to the guys at CIMB, OCBC and Maybank. There's a disconnect. He's desperate to join the only bank in Singapore who doesn't want to employ him. So, one of LinkedIn's top 10 awarded companies is actually Australian. It's Commonwealth Bank. I know we have people here from NAB, but I'm sorry, Commonwealth Bank win the top 10 award. So they do lots of engagement, lots of content. ANZ also do a very, very good job, although they don't do that particularly good job on the SME side of things. Although you'll notice they have 7,000 followers. Amex Open Forum had 20,000 followers. Compare the sizes of America, 300 million people, New Zealand, 5 million people, and actually they're doing a very good job, but they don't share. There's no content. There's no showcase pages, there's no content, there's nothing about what you can actually do, what ANZ actually offers small medium businesses. NAB do a very good job. They do actually have some content, although they don't share it very frequently. Again, they have 30,000 followers and only share content every 6 days. All their competitors, including Commonwealth Bank, tend to do it every single day. So, final slide. Who was the top Next Bank Asia speaker on the LinkedIn showcase page? No guesses for saying Neil Cross. 20,000 people for one view of Neil Cross on LinkedIn. So well done, Neil. By far and away the most popular speaker on our LinkedIn showcase page. That's me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. Entertaining and insightful.